Alright, so today we are replacing a coolant bypass solenoid on a 2014 Ford Escape SE, 1.6 liter motor, the smallest one. Here's what it looks like. We bought this directly from Ford. Let's see, Motorcraft, there's the information. We plugged in our little OBD scanner. That's what it gave, error code P26B7. Severity level, apparently it's really high, although it still runs perfectly fine without the coolant bypass solenoid. But it is not good to leave it broken because that could be a hot point in the engine and it could eventually overheat. So yeah, this is what the engine looks like. You can see the EcoBoost 1.6 liter, there it is. Alright, so first we start with taking that cover off, and we'll do that in just a second. Alright, so we're taking off the cover, or at least we're trying. It clips on with the, start over there on the right side. It's a little stubborn at first. There we go. These clips are stubborn, especially the first time you take them off. There it is. So this would be a good time to clean the underside of that cover or whatever, or look under here for leaks, or even if you need to replace your spark plugs. Well, there they are right there. So it's pretty simple. Some watermarks there. It's a little interesting. Looks like it was wet at one time. That's a little odd. You see right there is the solenoid that we're going to be replacing that is leaking coolant. A little interesting. Alright, so this does take a little work to get off, but you first probably want to take off that clip right there that goes onto that hose, and that one right down there. It just makes it a little easier to get to this right here. Here, I'll just start recording and I'll cut it whenever you get it off.
I'm trying to figure out which way you're supposed to push it. Usually it would be, to release it would be like this.
Yeah.
It's not. Where's the new piece? Well, it should go that way. Just hold on right there. Why is it not releasing?
Don't do that.
What?
Letting the light hang from the brake fluid reservoir.
It's not. It's not hanging. It's resting on something.
Yeah, the entire assembly. There's fluid in there. I can't even see it now.
Do you need a special tool to get that off there? Hold up right there. That is weird. See, these you lift up and then it comes off.
Yeah.
Right there. See that? You push and it pulls right off. This doesn't have a push thing.
Alright, so to get this off, it's a little stubborn, but you have to push back towards the back of the car, not towards the front. And it just comes right on off, like that. A little connector. And there it is, so we need to then just get that out, and I think I see how it mounts. Yeah. Ooh. Now what is that? That goo right there? That is weird. Huh. Alright, so the screws that I said was to get it off, I'm incorrect. That's to actually take apart the solenoid, which we do not want. So that clamp, yeah, it's off now, but it was right there. You can see it right down there. You have to take that off, and from there it's mildly simple. You just gotta unscrew these bolts right here, I believe. One on each side, and it should come right on off. And also, if you have a high mileage escape, you probably want to change your transmission fluid, which is right there, the cap to it, which you cannot check your transmission fluid, but this would still be a good time to change it. So if you have like an escape with 120,000 miles, it would not be a bad idea to change it. But considering this one only has 75,000, I believe, we're okay. Right, so we are right now getting off the two 8mm bolts that basically hold in the entire solenoid. We just got one out. That's what they look like right there. Remember, set these somewhere safe here. I'm just going to set it right there. They're difficult to get out. Really tiny space. Just like, you know, everything else in this engine bay. Everything is just crammed in here. There's very little room to work. Alright, I'm gonna pause the video for just... Alright, so there we go. Oh, ooh. Yep, there goes the fluid. A lot, or coolant, yeah, sorry. A lot of it, too. Should put the bucket down there. Oh, it just splashed on my foot. Oh, great. By the way, this hose here is very stubborn, and also right now would be a great time to clean the engine cover, which is what we're letting it do right now. Let's look underneath the car, see how... Okay, well, we can't really see anything right now, but there's a lot down there, I'm sure. At least there's a lot pouring out. See right there, that opening where it all poured out.
Get the stupid hose off.
I know. Oh, it's more pouring out. Yeah, this hose is being very stubborn. Of course, it's never been... There is more and more pouring out.
Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna lose all coolant right there. Yeah.
There's not supposed to be that much coming out of it.
Yeah, there's a lot. You can't really see it much. There it is. You can see it just pouring out. We're gonna lose all coolant. Luckily, though. Wow, we might. Luckily, though, we do have some more here. This is what we're gonna use. All right. Well, when all the coolant's done leaking out and everything, I'll get back. So it's probably a really good idea to, of course, let off all the pressure on your coolant tank right here. You can see, well, there's practically nothing left in there. We were at just above the minimum mark before. We've looked at, I don't know, probably 5 tutorials on how to do this just to be sure, and they said that you would lose very little and that you wouldn't have to worry about that, but apparently you do, so that's not really our fault. Luckily we have more though. So definitely be prepared to add more coolant if you're wanting to do this. You're gonna need it. Just trying our best to get this hose off. You might be getting somewhere. I wouldn't be too worried about hurting the solenoid because it's already ruined. Ooh. Alright, well, I'll get back with you guys. So we finally got that hose off. It just took a lot of work. Even more coolant will come out. You can see that's where it connects right there. My camera's being very stubborn. We have lost even more fluid. There's some left in there, but of course you want to replace pretty much all of it. Here's the old solenoid. See there? That's what it looks like. Yeah, my camera's not wanting to focus. Oh, here goes some more coolant. Man, this thing is heavy too. Anyways, let's go and look at our mess, I guess. Oh wow. Yeah, that's quite a bit of coolant. Luckily we have the bucket now. Alright, well, it's all cleanable, so that's alright. So we got the new solenoid. Putting it in there. Put in those screws first, tighten them down. Put back the hose on, of course, and put that little connector right there back on. Put everything back, including the engine cover, which, by the way, looks absolutely beautiful now. Looks great. It's all cleaned up, except for the underside, but that's alright. And even though we're trading this in a few weeks for a Jeep, I still want it to look all clean and pretty, so that's the main reason I did that. And of course, if we bring it to the dealer with a check engine light on, they're probably gonna charge us a lot less, so it was worth replacing the solenoid just to get some more money out of it. Alright, so we got the clip back on. It's a little difficult, but I'm sure you could eventually get it. See there, that's pretty much mounted. Now we just really need to plug it in and reconnect all the other hoses to the brackets, clamps, whatever. And put it all back and put that cover on, and it should be good. We'll show starting it up and if it clears the coat itself, or if, there we go, you can see it goes right back on, or if the car needs it to be cleared manually. There we go. Goes right on like that. And then I see another...
Nope.
Nope, you got it? Alright. So it's all back. We just need to put the cover on, which... let's go and do that now. And remember, before you start the car up, if you leaked a ton of coolant, to, of course, replace it.
It goes on that back pin right there first.
Okay.
Look underneath and see.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's this little thing that goes up. You have to line it up right in there. That's a little cool. Oh gosh, how would I get this? Here. I'm gonna put it on. So I'm just letting my dad put it on, since I have one hand holding the camera and putting something back on in an engine bay with one hand isn't very workable, I should say. Anyways, make sure it aligns. These hoses go through this little thing here, and make sure your dipstick and your hole for your oil, I guess I should say, is all lined up, and make sure it's all clamped down, which it is. Ain't that looking beautiful? Alright, I think that's it. Just need to add some coolant. This is our little mechanism. It's a little funnel there, hose going down. We don't have a ton, so we might have to go out and even special order some, because where we normally shop at for our car stuff, they don't have it. It's kinked right there. Keep going. should take just an, oh, is that it? Ah, that's it. Okay, well I think that's right at minimum.
It's gonna go down.
Yeah. We should be alright, just drive it around for a few minutes, but you will, of course. If you want to take it on a long drive or anything, you do want to add more than that, which we will eventually. Alright, now something that I just want to say, if you don't end up having enough coolant, like in our case, you can, in reality, if you have enough coolant in this little bucket here, or if you have one like this, if you have enough, you can probably put it back in, although I don't recommend it much because there could be particles like there are in here, just from the bucket itself, not from the coolant. But if you do decide to do that, at least filter it just to be sure, because you know, I don't want to be liable for your engine breaking down because of particles in the coolant tank. So just be sure to do that first. And also, before you get in the car and decide to start it up or do whatever, make sure your hands are clean so then you don't get your seats dirty or your steering wheel dirty or anything like that. And make sure you just clean them first. Make sure they're all good. And man, this cover looks so good. Did a little detailing there with the toothbrush, and it's all nice and clean now. It's really nice. Alright, so we'll start this up in just a... so we're finally all done. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can start this baby, and if the check engine light goes off, you can see just about 75,000 miles. So as I said earlier today, transmission fluid change probably wouldn't be bad right now, but if you had one with like 100,000, that'd be better. Alright, turn the music down all the way, and alright. I've never seen the blinkers go on. That was weird. Okay, check engine light has not gone off. That's alright though. I'm just going to put this in reverse and back it out number one so we can take it for a drive, and also so then we can get all the transmission fluid off of our floor. Alright, I wonder, will it say... Yeah, it still says that system check 0 messages active, yet it has a check engine light. And if you're wondering why it's blinking, it always does that, but only the camera can't pick that up. It's not doing it in real life. Alright, let's go and shut that off and get everything off of our floor. Oh yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, so just be expecting, if you're doing this for there to be a lot of transmission, or not transmission, just coolant on the floor. Alright, well, you clean that up, it's fixable.